Hello, great people. El-Rufai don't finish Tinubu. In fact, the right word to use now finish or destroy. Because this time around, the missile where El-Rufai throw at Tinubu, in fact, now total destruction. Because El-Rufai in the video playing on your screen, which I will allow you to watch in a moment, compared Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Paul Biya of Cameroon. Who is Paul Biya? What is significant about Paul Biya, and why is he comparing Tinubu to Paul Biya? When we finish watching the video, we go come back, then I would explain it to you. But let me tell you what led to the oration in that particular video. How did this video came about? You will recall that the media reported that El-Rufai's camp of the ADC was attacked in Kaduna where they were holding a meeting. Instead of the police to investigate and bring the perpetrators to book, now even El-Rufai, where they beat in people, now they say, oh, come to police station, come and give statement. And El-Rufai decided that no, I will not go. So based on all the injuries that were suffered, Atiku Abubakar decided to pay visit to Nasir El-Rufai. It was during that meeting that Nasir El-Rufai came out with his sword, armor, and missile and bazooka and begin to shell Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let us go and watch the video. Then we'll come back for some interesting discussion. I get story to yarn you. Let's watch the video first.
Honestly, Sani, to me, it's a disgrace. I mean, for people to behave the way they are behaving. So it means that all the years of saying we are for democracy, we are Atiku, it was all pretense, it was all fake. And all the claims that we are fighting for true federalism and so on, it's all fake again. Yeah, because this government is trying to centralize everything instead of devolving power to the lower levels. But the sum total of this is that we are facing an evil of such a large proportion in the history of this country that if we don't all come together and end this Tinubu administration by 2027, Tinubu will try to be our Paul. He will stay, he will be president for life. All the signs are there. This is how Paul is. Yes, yeah. All the signs are there. So we don't have a choice. And you are our leader, you have done this fight, you have fought the military, you have experience in democratic governance, and when you and Obasanjo are in charge of this country, no one has been imprisoned because he has different political views.
Absolutely not.
Never, not once. Even President Buhari with his military background never did that. And here we are facing full-fledged civilians. But they are worse than any military regime we ever had. So your call that we must unite is a timely one. I think the people of Nigeria have made up their minds that this government must go, APC must be voted out. What the people of Nigeria are looking forward to is us. We must provide the leadership and the unity of purpose that we've talked about. And I'm sure with your leadership, with your forbearance and your diplomatic skills of bringing people together, I'm sure we'll reach the promised land. But as for me,
so, well, anyway, I know you're not the kind of person who is scared that will not, confront this situation. So, the more reason why, we should come together to confront this situation headlong.
Absolutely.
And make sure that, one, it doesn't happen anymore during the remaining part of this administration. Yes. And secondly, like you said, we send them out by 2027. Yes. And not through any other thing else, but through the ballot box.
There you have it. You don't watch waiting El-Rufai talk for that particular video. I get many things to dissect for you because some of the words where El-Rufai yarn for that particular video, I go break them down. I go dissect them for you. And also, I will be talking about Paul Biya of Cameroon. First, I think make I start with Paul Biya first because now the promise why I make to you before we go watch that video. So before I go forget, make I yarn you the story. Who is Paul Biya that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is being compared to by Nasir El-Rufai? Paul Biya is the second president of Cameroon, and he has been ruling Cameroon from 1982 till date. Paul Biya has been ruling Cameroon for 40-something years, over 40 years that he has been ruling Cameroon. So El-Rufai is saying that if care is not taken, the way where this Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the way where they rule Nigeria, the way where they go, if care not they taken, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will turn himself to Paul Biya of Cameroon. That means that he will seek to rule himself, he will seek to rule Nigeria perpetually. Is that possible for Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Well, let me tell you that on this note, I will have to disagree with El-Rufai, but later I have some angles that I strongly agree with him, in the sense that, let us look at it. In the history of Nigeria, it is very difficult for you to perpetuate yourself in office. And let's go into history. Let's dive into history. History of power perpetuation attempt in Nigeria doesn't favor Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What do I mean by that? If you look at the history of Nigeria, since when Nigeria became an independent country in 1960, people that have tried to perpetuate themselves in power, that they try to rule for long or try to rule forever, one thing or the other has happened to them. So history of power perpetuation in Nigeria doesn't favor Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I'll give you examples in that regard. The first one is Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, IBB. IBB tried to perpetuate himself in power. He tried to move from being a military president, as he calls himself, into a civilian president. And at the end of the day, there were pressure, both locally and internationally, so much so that the great IBB at that point in time had to step aside and say, well, let me step aside. So you can see that in Nigeria, the pressure will go on kill you, they're very easy. Another instance in that regard is Sani Abacha, the late General Sani Abacha. You will recall that Abacha also made an attempt to perpetuate himself in power. At the end of the day, what happened to him? Come. They say chop apple. Not true. I mean, I don't know. But at the end of the day, Abacha died under some strange, unresolvable mathematical equation circumstance. Use any nomenclature you like, but we can't really say that this is what killed him, except those that are in power that can say, oh, this is what killed him. So that is another instance. Now, the third instance that we give you is that of Olusegun Obasanjo. You will recall this issue of third term or no third term agenda, and you see how Obasanjo was resisted by his fellow Nigerians. They said, no, you cannot perpetuate yourself in power. What the Constitution allows you is 2 terms of a cumulation of 8 years as president. So for you to say you want to get a third term, they're possible. That is why the political stalwart in the opposition, and particularly in the core north, they rose against him. And what happened at the end of the day? The third term, succeed. Obasanjo had to leave office. So what we work against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, apart from these examples that I've given to you, and what can we learn from it? What we can learn from all these examples that I just gave to you is that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot perpetuate himself in office. Why? The heterogeneous nature of Nigeria. What that means in simple English, we say the plural nature of Nigeria. If you look at Nigeria as Nigeria dey, so many ethnic groups dey Nigeria. Ethnic groups wey be say they don't tear high, they don't open high, they know what's up. Every ethnic group for Nigeria now, they want power. Everybody don't open eye. In such a country whereby there is culture shock, in which your culture is different from mine, and in a country of historical injustice. For instance, the Niger Delta people, the Ijaw people, they believe that there was injustice against them in the case of Kensaruwiwa and the Ogoni 8, popularly called the Ogoni 9, that was executed during Abacha regime. The Yoruba people believe that the Moshood MK Abiola scenario was injustice to the Yoruba people. So in countries like that, whereby every ethnic group have one matter of injustice or the other, majority of them that they can point to, such a country, it is very difficult for you to perpetuate yourself in power. Now, in compared to Cameroon that El-Rufai mentioned, you see, in Cameroon is more of an homogeneous or semi-homogeneous kind of country, in the sense that you can't compare Nigeria to Cameroon. Cameroon is a small country, which makes it relatively easy for you to control, for you to mobilize and apparently perpetuate yourself in office. Then, if you look at the ethnic groups in Cameroon, you can't compare them to Nigeria. In fact, I don't think the whole of the population of Cameroon is up to the Hausa Fulani ethnic group in the north. So that itself shows the heterogeneous nature of Nigeria, the vast nature, the plural nature of Nigeria makes it difficult for you to perpetuate yourself in office. And based on that, and the examples that I've given you as regards IBB, Abacha, and Obasanjo, definitely Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot have his way. And it is not too right to compare Nigeria with Cameroon in terms of perpetuating yourself in office. Now, let us go to the statement where El-Rufai made. Some of the key words, some of the missile, the atomic bomb, where El-Rufai just they shoot for that particular video. Let me break some of them down for you. For instance, El-Rufai said, Tinubu will be our Paul Biya. All the signs are there. I don't dissect one. Make I go into another angle. Tinubu will, that's the quote, Tinubu will be our Paul Biya. All the signs are there. True or false? Well, now, let me agree with El-Rufai. I will tell you that apparently true. Why do I say so? Well, I say so because Tinubu is power-oriented. If El-Rufai is saying Tinubu will be our Paul Biya, that it will attempt third term, will it attempt third term? Apparently, if the personality of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is to go by, I will say yes. But can he achieve it? No. Why do I say yes? Bola Ahmed Tinubu have proven that he is a power-oriented politician. He has proven that he loves power and he knows what to do with it. Now, let us look at the political personality of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He became a senator. That one no reach am. He no dey satisfied. So before you know it, he struggle, he become governor. He still never dissatisfied. He became the leader of the Southwest, the godfather of Southwest politics. He began the implant governor. Go Osun, implant governor. Go Ekiti, implant governor. You know, he began the implant governor everywhere. At the end of the day, he became the godfather of Southwest politics. That one, he no richer. He go bring Buhari from the north. He became the national leader of APC and he helped in installing Buhari as president. Still, that one, he no richer. Now, he is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if his political trajectory is anything to go by, definitely Bola Ahmed Tinubu is power-oriented. Give him power, he will want more power. Give him more power, he will want more power. So looking at the personnel of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I can agree with El-Rufai that if care is not taken, if you don't keep eye on Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he may want to be the Paul Biya. But the truth is that will the system and nature of Nigeria allow him? Apparently no. He go eat the rock because he no go feel survive waiting Nigeria go do him. Now, let's go into another angle in the sense that you may think that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will have his way. But then, even if his party, the APC, have majority in the Senate, if they have majority in the House of Representatives, and they have the opportunity to change the constitution to allow Bola Ahmed Tinubu to run for third term or to become a perpetual president in Nigeria, do you know why it will not work? Not I, they see power. Not I, they joke with power. Not I don't date that power. For in fact, if it is possible for the Northerners to fast forward the time, for them to be in 2031, for power to go back to the North, they really cannot wait. So looking at that, even if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is party, the APC have majority in the Senate and House of Representatives, it still not go work because the politicians, particularly the Northerners, who will need to support such a motion of that particular bill before it can sail through, will never support it. That is one ordeal that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will have to face. The Yoruba senators, House of Rep members, they can support it. Some of the Southeast maybe, but you see those Northern senators, Northern House of Rep, then you will see that they don't really like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the way they will revolt against him. Now, let us go to another statement of El-Rufai. El-Rufai said, Nigerians have resolved to vote Tinubu out of power. El-Rufai, what do they talk? Nigerians have resolved. No, that's a slippery statement. When you say Nigerians have resolved, no, there are some Nigerians that are willing to die for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There are some Nigerians that anything where Bola Ahmed Tinubu do, concern them. If you like, tell them say he carry drug, tell them say they tell them say na useless guy, concern them. So I think the right word is to say would have been some people or some Nigerians are ready to vote against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because I can tell you that as you are saying you will not vote against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, some people are willing and ready to vote for him. If he like, may rice be 5 billion naira per bag, some people will still vote for him. Let me give you an example. I have never told anybody on this platform who to vote for. I have never contested your power to vote. I've never contested it with you. Somebody made a comment on my video that, as for he and his entire household, they will vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I now reply to the comment that, sorry, your comment is out of radar. But as far as I'm concerned, it is your right to vote for whoever you wish. And I don't think I have ever argued or contend that with you or any other person on this platform. Till now, while they talk, I never hear from that person. So you can see, what are we saying? What are you saying? Are we talking about voting? Did I ask you not to vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu? So that's why I said, no matter who Bola Ahmed Tinubu is, or no matter what he do, some people will still vote for him. So that's where I disagree with El-Rufai again, that when he say Nigerians have resolved. No, say some Nigerians. That gives it more credibility. But you see, Tinubu himself needs to be tolerant. Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself needs to be tolerant in the sense that opposition can no longer hold meeting. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, wetin people do you? They no be president. Now you be president of Nigeria. If the past president of Nigeria did not allow opposition to hold meeting, you wouldn't have emerged. Buhari wouldn't have emerged, not to talk of handing over to you. So I think that there is a message in El-Rufai's statement, which is that Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC and the Nigerian government needs to be more tolerant. Opposition can hold meetings, just ordinary peaceful meetings. Say waiting. Opposition cannot rally. Say waiting. Parties are in disarray. PDP, it dey disarray. Labour Party, it don't scatter. What is the other party again? ADC now. There's problem in there. So that itself proves that the ruling party is putting fire, to use the words of Nyesom Wike, is putting fire into this party. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if he's truly the Democrat he claims to be, need to be quite tolerant. But what I can say is that to Nigerians is beware of their antics so they don't come again. El-Rufai will be the Wike of today if he's a minister. Don't forget that the way where El-Rufai they tackle Tinubu now, because say he no be minister, if to say Tinubu don't make sure say Akpabio ratify his appointment as minister, El-Rufai no go dey tackle Tinubu today. So another message is to Atiku Abubakar, which is that beware of El-Rufai's apparent fake loyalty. You brought El-Rufai into politics. You recommend him to Obasanjo. At the end of the day, El-Rufai betrayed you. He left you. He followed the Buhari people go. Now, where their relationship trade don't pass between them, El-Rufai is now back to you and is now forming loyalty. So Atiku should also beware of the apparent fake loyalty of Nasir El-Rufai. 2027 is sure going to be an interesting political year. It's been an interesting time with you. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.